Examples: the quotient of a number and 6. The quotient of a number and 6. Quotient tells us to divide, and so we can write our fraction bar. The two things we're dividing are a number and 6, separated by the word and. Which goes on the top and which goes on the bottom? The order in which they are written is the order in which the words are written on the page. A number comes first, and so we write that on the top of the fraction. Let's use x. 6 comes second, so we write that on the bottom of the fraction. And so the quotient of a number and 6 is written x over 6. Our next example, a number divided by 4. Divided by tells us we're going to divide. The two things we're dividing are a number and 4, separated by the phrase divided by. Since we're dividing, we write the fraction bar to receive the division. The order is exactly the same as written in English. A number, let's use x, divided by 4 over 4. The order does matter. The order stays the same as the way it's written on the page. Our last vocabulary phrases are phrases for special exponents. For powers, the two special exponents are exponent 2 and exponent 3. A number squared is x to the power 2. A number cubed is x to the power 3. Let's look at examples now, using the various expressions that we've been dealing with. For these examples, our instructions are translate into a variable expression. Let's start with a number increased by 4. A number increased by 4. The key phrase here is increased by, which tells us to add. The two things we're adding are a number and 4. Let's use x to stand for our number. X add 4. A number increased by 4 is x plus 4. Our second example, the difference between 6 and a number. The difference between 6 and a number. The key phrase here is difference between. The difference between numbers means the numbers are being subtracted. The two things that we're subtracting are 6 and a number. In subtraction, the order matters. Difference is not a phrase that makes us reverse the order, and so we keep the order the same as it is in the problem. 6 comes first, a number comes second. Let's use x again. And so we get 6 subtract x. Example 3. Twice a number divided by 5 more than a number. Twice a number divided by 5 more than a number. A key phrase here is divided by. We know that we're going to divide, and so that means we need a fraction bar. Divided by connects twice a number and 5 more than a number. The first thing that we get to is in the numerator. Twice a number means 2 times the number, so we'll write 2x. The numerator is 2x. This is divided by, the next phrase is 5 more than a number. More than is a key phrase. It tells us we are adding, and so we'll add in this denominator. 5 more than a number, 5 plus x. Twice a number divided by 5 more than a number. 2x over 5 plus x. Example 4. 8 less than a number. Less than tells us we're subtracting. The two numbers are 8 and a number. But less than is that red flag phrase that says, do you remember? Reverse the order. So the 8 comes at the end, a number comes at the beginning. But the 8 at the end, put the number, let's call it x, at the beginning. So 8 less than a number is x subtract 8. Example 5 is the quotient of the square of a number and the total of the number and 7. The quotient of the square of a number and the total of the number and 7. The quotient of the square of a number and the total of the number and 7. Key words here. Quotient tells us we are dividing, so we'll put a fraction bar for the dividing. Quotient of, the first thing is the square of a number coming up to the word and. The second thing is the total of the number and 7. We have, for the first expression, the square of a number. The square of a number. Square means exponent 2, so our numerator is x squared. Following the word and, we get the denominator of the expression. This is the total of the number and 7. Total tells us we are adding. The two things we're adding are the number and 7, separated by the word and. The number, which is x, and 7. This one is a little bit like having parentheses inside brackets. The big picture is the quotient of one thing and another. But within each of these two things, the numerator expression and the denominator expression, we have to decipher what is used for each part. The square of a number is our numerator. The total of the number and 7 is our denominator.